I've got 5 productivity ideas to help you. After doing months of research so you don't have to, these are 5 ideas that are actually being used by real successful people today, and you can use them too. The 5th and final idea is so powerful that it's mentioned more than twice as often as any of the other ideas on the list. All you have to do is see which one works best for you and execute. Former US President Barack Obama used this method to boost his effectiveness. He'd block out time in his diary so there were no meetings scheduled, and he'd remove all other distractions, so he could focus on the tasks that he felt were most important without interruption. Removing distractions is a popular technique which involves the removal or at least the reduction of outside pressures that can get in the way of our focus and attention. The idea is based around the evidence that distractions can get in the way of your workflow, and they can also impact on your ability to concentrate on the task you're focused on. These distractions can often lead to a reduction in your productivity and cause stress as you start to fall behind. The biggest distractions for many of us is our phones, so you've got 3 different levels of commitment to choose from here. The first one is to put your phone on Do Not Disturb, so now you won't hear the notifications as they come through, but they'll still pop up on your screen, meaning you could be tempted to look at them. The second is to put it onto aeroplane mode. Now, the phone's still within the vicinity, but the notifications aren't coming through. However, you could reach out and you could look and turn aeroplane mode off easily. And the third and most effective method is to leave your phone at home, put it in your locker, leave it in your coat, but don't have it on your desk or within your work environment anywhere near you at all. You also want to create yourself a distraction-free environment, so don't work in the same room as your TV. Make sure you've got a clean and tidy desk so there's not papers everywhere that could pull your attention from what you're actually focusing on. Set your Teams onto Do Not Disturb, turn off your emails, but if you're stuck in a room that is noisy, then think about purchasing some noise-cancelling headphones. Removing distractions can also boost your memory, as instead of having constant interruptions coming in, your brain's able to better consolidate and process the information that's coming in. I know that the ability to recall information in important meetings would certainly be a bonus. At a TEDx talk in 2013, Mel Robbins introduced the idea of the 5-second rule to the world, and former Super Bowl winner and ex-Baltimore Raven Trent Dilfer has used the rule to great effect throughout his career. Trent used the rule really effectively to overcome self-doubt and fear, and he's now a successful commentator as well as being the starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens in their 2001 Super Bowl victory. While the 5-second rule is great for dealing with procrastination and productivity, a really beneficial spin-off is that it increases confidence and self-worth. As the rule only gives you 5 seconds to act, it allows you to avoid a whole heap of barriers because you're just doing, you're not stopping to think about it, and that negative self-talk and self-doubt can't creep in. Clearly, if you already have impulse control problems, this one's not for you. The rule is really simple and we can all adopt it. Simply, if you have the impulse to act on a goal or a task, then you must take action within 5 seconds. This means you can do those unpleasant tasks you've been putting off. You can make that uncomfortable phone call. You can speak up in the meeting when you need more information or you want to challenge the speaker. And you can even take the next step in your pursuit of new opportunities. By using the 5-second rule, you can retrain your brain to take action as a default setting, which stops the negative self-talk from creeping in and gets rid of any of those silly concerns that often stop us from acting. Now, it's not going to work for everything. If you're planning a big project, then you're going to have to put in some planning time. But while you're going through that project, there'll be plenty of moments where you can take advantage of the 5-second rule to help boost your productivity and really push the project forwards. It can even be used for really simple day-to-day things, such as giving yourself just 5 seconds to get out of bed, which is where Mel actually came up with the idea originally. She'd been struggling with a few personal issues and hadn't been making the progress on her goals and ambitions that she'd wanted to. But that one morning she gave herself 5 seconds to get out of bed and a new Mel Robbins was born, and a hugely successful one at that too. It only takes a couple of minutes to reply to most emails, which is why millions of us out there allow our emails to build up throughout the day, creating this daunting, ever-growing mountain of work that's not only going to take a couple of minutes, but swallow probably an entire hour as we jump from one piece of work to another in trying to respond to them. The 2-minute rule can help you solve this, and it's not only for emails. Simply put, if a task is going to take you less than 2 minutes to complete, then you should do it right now. It should never see the dawn of a to-do list. And these small tasks will then never add up into what looks like an uncontrollable monster. David Allen popularised this in his best-selling book Getting Things Done and suggests that this could be used for a huge number of tasks. Not only does this stop you from getting overwhelmed by the sheer size of your to-do list, it also allows you to have a sense of achievement that you're actually getting things done. And this allows you to build momentum and confidence. You can even use this for things outside of work, like going to the gym. Now, while your workout is going to take longer than 2 minutes, It's not going to take you longer than 2 minutes to pick up your gym bag and get out of the door. And that simple act of getting out of the door with your gym bag is going to make you much more likely to go on and complete that longer workout as well. You can break down a large number of your problem tasks into 2-minute sized chunks, and this will allow you to make progress on both your work and personal objectives and projects. Mark Cuban has talked about the importance of building good habits and how he's used the 2-minute rule to break down his large projects into smaller chunks so he can focus his attention on his real priorities. Now, I only know Mark from a TV show, The League, which is a fantasy American football show, and I believe he's a shark on Shark Tank. Mark has noted that you can use the rule to make small changes that over time will have a big impact, and they'll allow you to develop consistency and perseverance in the face of adversity. And this will go a long way to building long-term success. Not everyone enjoys tomatoes, but the next one is all based around the idea of a timer that's shaped like a tomato. And if you're interested in productivity at all, you've probably heard of the Pomodoro Technique previously, probably more than any other. This is the only idea on the list that requires any equipment at all, and it's as simple as a timer. Now, it was developed by Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s and has been used by no other than super YouTuber Casey Neistat himself, who says that it helps him from getting overwhelmed as it allows him to plan his work in 25-minute blocks across the day. But the Pomodoro Technique isn't all about time management. It can also help you to build discipline and develop new good habits. Pomodoro is simple. You put 25 minutes on a timer, or less or more, dependent. It's all personal, down to you. And in that 25 minutes you work hard without distraction. Now, this is really great because at the end of the 25 minutes you'll get a 5 or 10 minute break, and at that point you can choose to look at your phone and read all the social media and understand what's happening in the sport and which Kardashian's doing what these days. But during the Pomodoro session you're focused on your work and only your work. Be it planning or actually doing, it doesn't matter as long as you are concentrating and working on the task at hand. Now, this can enable you not to only understand the work you're doing more effectively, but also give you more of an idea of what your work habits are. Do you need to revisit the removal of distractions? Do you need to think about whether you can implement the 5-second or the 2-minute rule into your Pomodoro technique as well to help you push your productivity further? A nice side effect of this is it can help build self-discipline, as it can also remove that need for instant gratification which has been slipping more and more into our daily life recently. Now, during your 25-minute block session you are focused only on your work and you're removing the need to look at those notifications and those pop-ups, because you know at the end of that you've got that 5-10 minute break where you can get caught up. So Pomodoro will make you wait to find out who slapped who at the Oscars, and you'll be as surprised as Chris was. Kaizen is a Japanese philosophy all around continuous improvement. Now, this next idea not only will allow you to build the momentum that will get you past any initial obstacles, but it will also leverage a powerful psychological principle that will help keep us motivated. This is all starting to sound really complicated, but I promise you it's not. It's simply just start. Similar to the 5-second rule, which is all around acting on our impulses, the just start mentality is about just getting going and understanding that we don't have all the answers and we're not going to be perfect right off the bat. It's to embrace the suck, but to get going anyway. The advice is based around the idea that once you've started, you'll find out that you knew more than you initially thought you did anyway, and also you'll find it easier to build the momentum that will allow you to complete the task. We've all looked at flat pack furniture from a well-known Swedish store and thought, forget that. But really, if we were just to get started, we'd find ourselves building it much quicker. And okay, we might not get it perfectly right, and we may put the right on the left, but it's really easy to rectify that. And once you've done that, you'll end up with your set of drawers or your cupboard. However, if you were waiting for the time to be perfect, it would still be in the cardboard box. Just start doesn't assume that you'll be perfect right off the bat, but it allows you to get something done, and then you can go back and you can go over with your corrections and you can add in the information that you now have and the research that you've done to support it. And also, if you start quickly, you'll have much more time to go over and make the changes to make it perfect before the deadline hits. The psychological principle that I mentioned earlier is the Zeigarnik effect, no points for pronunciation. This refers to the human tendency to remember and to focus on unfinished tasks and projects. We can use the Just Start idea to get going and complete the tasks, and that will allow us to avoid any stress or anxiety. We probably wouldn't have Facebook without the Just Start technique, as Mark Zuckerberg spoke about in 2015 about how he applies Just Start. He spoke about starting small, but starting, and then you can make changes as you go along, and eventually you create the biggest social platform on the planet. And of course, you get to wear grey t-shirts all the time as well. You guys are great, and I know you can smash your goals. And even if only one of these ideas works for you, it can take your gains to the next level. Thanks for watching and have a great day. See you on the next one.